This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlaytimeCares.com. What's up, world? This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlaytimeCares.com. I'm doing my Smackdown recap. It was April 23rd, 2015. This one was in Providence, Rhode Island. You had Saxton, Phillips, and Jerry Lawler as your commentators. They started off the show with Rollins and J&J Security. Pretty much did a recap of Raw's Randy Orton Rampage, where he was just RKOing everybody. Then Rollins pretty much stated he didn't need any help to stop Orton at Extreme Rules, and he called Kane agent. Of course, that made Kane come out and he come out to the ring. Then Kane pretty much told Rollins he needs to start appreciating him because he gonna be the gatekeeper at his Extreme Rules match, steel cage match. So he needs to start appreciating him. Yeah, Rollins pretty much doesn't care about Kane. They made that clear. Rollins said that Triple H pretty much just gave Kane something to do just so he wouldn't, so he wouldn't feel useless pretty much. And Kane pretty much took that serious. So he said, you know what? I laid down for you for a match, so you're gonna lay down for me. Triple H not here, so I am the authority. Give me a referee. So Rollins like, nah, bro, nah, you can't do that. Nah, we not even playing those games. I'm the champ. He said, oh yeah, you will. He said, matter of fact, if you don't lay down for me, I'm gonna rip your guts from out your throat, and I'm gonna make you lay down anyway. So Rollins like, you know what? Ain't worth getting beat up over. It's a non-title match. Why bother? He went lay down. Kane was like, man, I'm just joking with you. Get up. Your match is actually versus Dean Ambrose. So he's like, what? That's not better. He's like, it's not entitled. Why are you tripping? So overall, Ambrose, of course, he came out with a thunderous applause. Of course, they had the history of them being part of the Shield together at Ambrose and Roman Reigns getting screwed by Rollins. So of course, that's a throwback rivalry. And overall, it was a pretty decent match. Ambrose came down to the ring, and then Luke Harper kind of followed him to the ring. So Ambrose looked back, saw Luke Harper, like, skip it. Ran in the ring, attacked Rollins. Rollins and J&J Security and Harper just start, pretty much just jumping him. And then, of course, since Harper was in the way, his opponent from Extreme Rules, Dolph Ziggler, decided to come and make the save. They pretty much clear out the ring. So the Dean Ambrose versus Rollins match was pretty much a no contest. About a 7 out of 10. Kind of a good way to kind of start off things if you don't count the Kane match. And the next thing was, let's say, a tag team match. It was Ziggler and Neville, the man that gravity forgot, versus Bad News Barrett and Sheamus. They had great action in that one. Neville is always entertaining to watch. They did a lot of high-risk maneuvers. It pretty much ended up with Bad News Barrett getting zigzagged and, laying out in the ring. And then Neville hitting that red arrow, that little corkscrew splash thing he does from the top rope. That was about an 8 out of 10 match. They talked about Tough Enough, and they showed a little compilation of a lot of the video submittals. They say you can go to Tough Enough, I think WWE.com, to submit your own videos if you want to be part of that. Then, Bray Wyatt, he cut another cryptic promo, just some random thing. Then they had the match that I wanted to really see for a while. If you've been following me, I've been saying I wanted to tell you, and Naomi to be really the featured divas. They had a pretty decent match. They just showcasing the aggression that Naomi has. That match was about a 7 out of 10. Naomi was aggressive the entire match. She won it quick. Boom. Hit her with the little the rear view, and did a little shake before she even sat down on that for the win. That was real cool. From an eye candy perspective. Then the primetime players pretty much cut a promo dissing the tag team champions Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Pretty much saying that the primetime players are they're the tag team to watch. They worth millions of dollars. So Rusev and Lana, they was in the ring, and they pretty much talking about that. Cena is the last great American hope, and Rusev gonna whip him with the chain, yada yada yada. Well, his opponent for the match, who? Person I've been complaining about, they should have been had him fighting. Ryback came out. It was a good power match. Ryback, he dominated the entire match. And then, Rusev pretty much just got the chain, hit right back with him, knocked him out, then give him that chain facelift that he did Cena. But so it was a good match though. 8 out of 10, Ryback wins by DQ disqualification. And then you had Rollins and J&J Security trying to find Harper so they can see if he can be on the same page as them in regards, because now they made a match between Harper and Rollins versus Ziggler and Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. So, he pretty much, Harper was like, look, I'm a person that like to bring the pain, stay out of my way. I ain't got time for all of that. So, it was like, wow, this guy kind of intense, and they just, hey, let him walk off. Next thing that happened was Kofi Kingston of the New Day versus Cesaro of the tag team champs. And of course, all three of the New Days started off their positivity chant, saying that they bring in positivity to the WWE, and it's a new day, and they're doing their little clap. So they kept doing that, and of course the crowd was going, "New Day suck," with every cadence. So that was a pretty cool thing. They still have that good heel turn. That'd be awesome if they go heel. Decent pace match. Ended up pretty much having a lot of outside activity about the people that accompanied the competitors to the ring, which caused Cesaro to lose focus. And when he turned around, Kofi Kingston hit him with the Birds of Paradise. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Match about a 7 out of 10. Then they showed the Big Show talking about how Roman Reigns was pretty much handed everything, while the Big Show constantly having to fight, claw his way to the top. So that's the reason why he's going to constantly try to make sure he knocks Roman Reigns down. Then they went to the tag match, which was Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns teaming up against Luke Harper and Seth Rollins. Decent match, I have to say. It had plenty of action. There was a lot of back and forth with a lot of near pinfall wins. They kick it out at 2.5. The crowd got really into it around the last 4 or 5 minutes of the match. You saw several people, standing up, just watching the match in anticipation. Ambrose, he did a lot of crazy stuff. All of the getting on the top rope, jumping off of the top rope and stuff, all of those crazy antics eventually got the crowd, chanting, "This is awesome." So, the match was actually pretty good. I'd say about an 8 out of 10. So, everybody was kind of, because of Ambrose knocking everybody, jumping off the top rope, knocking everybody out on the outside of the ring, everybody was pretty much getting counted out. Referee was like at 6. Kane gets up. He throws Rollins back in the ring. And Dean Ambrose got back in the ring right about 8.5, 9. But, Rollins was still kind of weary. Dean Ambrose had enough state of mind to go ahead and tag in Roman Reigns, which was probably the freshest out of the 4 men. And he pretty much just speared Rollins into the match. But it kind of looked like, well, did Kane do that on purpose? Will he be a good gatekeeper? Will he do what's best for the business? Is he going to still support the authority, even though he tried to resign Monday on Raw? So that was pretty much SmackDown. This actually was a pretty decent SmackDown considering the pay-per-view was Sunday. So with that said, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I'm Playtime Cares. Hey, I have a donation button. Look out for me for doing my Google Hangouts. I try to make sure I advertise that on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. You can, put in your questions. You can always hit me up on Twitter or at alex@playtimecares.com and let me know what it is that you want to say, or, what you want to be covered. I do all sports, but I just like my wrestling too. So, hey, this Playtime out. Later.